Hello guys, what's going on? Welcome back to one of my videos. In this video, guys, the top 10 most popular bloodlines in Shindo Life. Now, this is going to be a very heavily requested one. A lot of people want to know the top 10 most overused, top 10 most popular bloodlines in Shindo Life. So I'm going to bring it to you in this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like, particularly let's get right to the video, guys. Now, coming in 10th place is going to be After All My Shizen. It's going to be coming in 10th just because even though it is very good, people find this bloodline kind of boring to use in PvP. So it's actually not used as much as it probably should have been before the third ability got nerfed. But even with all of that, it still is one of the most popular ones. I see this a lot in competitive and a lot in RPG just because it's just such a good bloodline, and that's honestly the main reason why it's going to even make it on this list. Now, coming in 9th place is going to be Naramaki. This is going to be coming in 9th just because Naramaki is the main character of the anime this game is based off of. So just because of that, it's one of the most popular bloodlines in the game because people just love, you know, Naruto and things like that. But not only that, but it actually did get buffed, which made it more, you know, accessible on the PvP side of things. And because of that PvP buff, it's actually going to be on this list now. Now, coming in 8th place is going to be Satori Rengoku. This is going to be coming in 8th just because Satori Ren is a very, very popular bloodline. It's actually not that great. It is not that good, but for some reason, people absolutely love this bloodline. I see this bloodline as so many people's favorites. It is actually incredible. You'd be surprised how many people think Satori Rengoku is their favorite bloodline in the game. Even though it is not that great, it definitely is one of the most popular in the game, which is actually an amazing thing that a good bloodline that isn't good is actually popular. Now, coming in 7th place is going to be Bankai Akuma. Now, this is going to be coming in 7th just because, you know, it's kind of notoriously the most popular Akuma in the game, because it's based off a really popular Naruto character. The abilities are actually pretty good. You know, a lot of the abilities are just well-rounded. It's a well-rounded bloodline in general. But not only that, but the second ability actually got buffed recently, which is why it's been used in PvP a lot more. It's a placelock stun now, which is a significant buff over what it used to be. Now, coming in 6th place is going to be Shindai Rengoku. This is becoming in 6th just because people absolutely adore this bloodline. It's been nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, but people still love this bloodline. I see this bloodline used more than it probably should. You know, the second ability is actually pretty good. The first ability is also pretty good. It's a one hand sign ability, which is barely a hand sign. It's like half a hand sign. But the third ability, guys, you guys got to drop it. You guys got to stop using this until they buff it. 100k chi. Come on, man. You guys know that's bad. I see so many people using this counter even with it taking 100k chi. You guys are better than that. Now, coming in 5th place is going to be Doku Tengoku. This is going to be the skin version, which is Doku Scorpion. Doku Tengoku is just one of the most popular just because it's good. That's mainly the reason why it's popular. It's a very cool bloodline in general, but the main reason is because it's just so good. I mean, like, the mode is absolutely amazing. Some of the best combo modes of the game, but the weapon spec doing a crap ton of damage. C-spec, you can actually use moves during the end of it. Second ability grabs you from across the entire map. The hitbox on it is literally the size of my butt cheeks, man. Like, this bloodline is actually so insane. They nerfed the counter, but the counter is also still good. Now, coming in 4th place is going to be Satori Akuma. This one is kind of my fault, guys. I apologize. But when it comes to Satori Akuma, it's mostly popular because of, just because it's just really, really, really good. You know, the weapon spec block break does 80k damage. The stun of it is one of the single best stuns in the entire game. The C-spec, it's extremely hard to hit people and actually has no end lag, so you could attack people during it. But the iframes are kind of on the weaker side. I mean, like, if you like, you know, getting your own abilities on cooldown, that's cool. You know, you could do what you want to do. But I honestly only use Satori for the third ability and the weapon spec. Now, coming in 3rd place, especially after it received the second mode, is going to be Ryan Rengoku. Now, the second mode kind of just propelled it back into being really popular, but the main reason why people use this now is the second ability. This is actually the skin version, by the way. The original is purple. But I actually really, really like Ryan Ren. I really like Ryan Azur. It's my favorite, one of my favorite skins in the entire game. But when it comes to Ryan Ren, it's just honestly a really good bloodline in general now. But that first ability is so bad. I would say never use that. Never touch that ability. The first ability has like 0 like M1 prio on it, so people can literally M1 you to get out of it, and then you get comboed after that. Not a good ability, but every other ability of it is actually pretty decent. Now, coming in 2nd place is going to be Minakaze. You guys probably expected this. Minakaze, even after the nerfs, is extremely popular. I see this bloodline used a lot, like a lot, especially in RPG, not competitive. People use this bloodline a ton just because it's cool. It's just a really cool bloodline. There's not much else to say about it. Even if it's not the best anymore, the mode is still pretty good, by the way. But even though it's not the best anymore, this bloodline is so cool. It's by far one of the coolest bloodlines in the game, and that's why it's so popular. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Have you remembered to hit that like button on the video yet? If you haven't already, go ahead and do it. I'll be waiting. Honorable 1 is going to be Forge Rengoku. This one's going to be on here just because people like being annoying, I guess. I see this bloodline used way more than you know, is humanly possible. And every single time it annoys the crap out of me, just because it is so hard to hit these people, just because it's really hard to hit people just on things in general in Shindo Life. And when you're on a statue 24/7, spamming abilities that stun you, spamming abilities that do tons of damage to people, and overall just like absolutely just slaughtering people with the fact you cannot be hit, this bloodline obviously is popular just because it's annoying. That's kind of the main reason. Now, Honorable Mention 2 is going to be Ryuji Kenichi. At one point, this was number 1. But the reason why it's so low now is just because it's banned in competitive. The mode is banned in competitive, but other than that, like, people still use the crap out of this, especially in duels. In duels, this is probably one of the most used modes just because it gives you a second life. But when it comes to actual abilities of it, all of them are pretty good for combos. I mean, the second ability does a ton of damage. Third ability is instantaneous, and it's a combo extender. Just Ryuji's just insane in general. Just a really, really good bloodline, and that's mainly why it's actually very popular. Alright, so Honorable Mention 3 is going to be Golden Jokai, otherwise known as Arahaki Jokai. I call it Go Jokai just because that's what I've always called it, I guess. So Honorable Mention 3 is going to be this just because the second ability has been used an absolute metric ton. Not only that, but the third ability also is no longer on the stun global cooldown, so you can use it with stuns, and it's also an iframe, and it also does a lot of damage. So yeah, Goto Jokai is mainly used a lot just because it's very, very, very good in PvP besides actually the first ability in the mode. But yeah, when it comes to Goto Jokai, the mode is not that great simply because I feel like the C spec, it's really easy to predict. The weapon spec's actually really, really hard to hit on people, and the extra M1s don't really do anything because fighting styles exist in the game. Obviously with the first ability, it has hand size, so it's not that great overall, but when it comes to the other two abilities, it definitely carries it enough to be popular because I see the second ability and third ability used a lot in competitive, especially in RPG too. By the way, I was wondering what your guys' favorite bloodline in the game is. Feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll be reading the comments. I actually want to know what your guys' most favorite bloodline is. Alright guys, so coming in first place is going to be Mud. Obviously, I'm joking. It's going to be Kogoku. Kogoku, the newest bloodline in the game. Second ability is instant, by the way. It also creates a portal that allows you to escape combos in case you miss. And if you don't miss, it has one of the longest range in the entire game of a stun move that pulls you in. That's honestly the main reason why it's so popular. But another reason is this C-spec is literally, I'm not joking when I say this, this C-spec, if you actually know how to play the game, is an instant win. It's an instant win in duels, in competitive, in Arena X, just because it drains so much mode from you, from the other person. It's just an instant win, because pretty much all you have to do is use the C-spec, run away until it's back off, stun them, and make sure their auto dodge is going, obviously, use the C-spec. You do that 4 or 5 times, all of their modes gone, and you win just because you're moded. Like, just when it comes to Kogoku, this bloodline is really, really good. And honestly, the only bad ability of Kogoku is the first one, just because it has so much end lag. I mean, even with M1s are absolutely amazing. The weapon spec is absolutely amazing. I mean, you could run around with this fat tail in your face. You know, it's just a really, really good bloodline in general, and that's honestly just why it's so popular. Anyways, guys, that's actually it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, more. Sex, guys. Bye-bye.